the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Michigan Wolverines. And I think this is the most anticipated matchup of the two. When you talk about the semifinals, college football playoffs, this you talk about heavyweights, you talk about physicality. This game is gonna have it. You look at the defensive line of Georgia, you look at the offensive line of Michigan. Coty, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. I've been watching a lot of film. This Michigan offensive line, those tight ends,
grown.
Listen, they physical now.
They grown.
They want to play a brand of football to where they move a man against their will from point A to point B. Now that's gonna be hard because that Georgia front seven is pretty damn stout and they can play the game of football too. But there's numerous of occasions. Let me tell you how I know this team loves one another, how they love being around each other, how they just play for one common goal. There's multiple times where I see whether it's a running back, a tight end, a quarterback, or a wide receiver running the football, and you see old linemen, you see tight ends, you see quarterback J.J. McCarthy one time in the Big Ten championship game, receivers, you see guys running back sprinting downfield to get the necessary blocks to spring their man for bigger plays than what they already have gotten up until that point. And that's when you know, man, that's when you know your head coach has sent a message and everybody in that program has got the message. I look at them defensively.
It's a standard.
Yep. They're physical. I seen a run that A.J. Henning had against Ohio State. I believe it was the first touchdown that Michigan scored. And the tight end, Eric All, number 83, he was the lead blocker. When he engaged with the defender, put his face mask on him, you see the defender head jerk back a little bit. Guess where he took him, Coty?
To the water cooler.
Took his ass to that Gatorade cooler. Took him to the sideline.
Yes.
And
as a DB, that's
right outside the hash, not far from the hash, took him all the way to the sideline.
Man, listen.
Physicality.
For the fans out there that miss the old days of football, the two people in a phone booth fighting style of football, this is the game to watch. Because whoever wins this matchup up front will hands down win this game.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, I don't know which way it's going to go because both teams are literally so stout up front. It could go either way. The key to the game to me is going to be if Georgia's quarterback, Stetson Bennett, comes out and struggles just a little bit, what is Kirby Smart going to do?
Yep.
That's something I'm very intrigued to see. And one other thing, for Michigan, they better know where Bowers is at for Georgia.
100%.
Because if they don't know where that young man is at, he can totally wreck a game from the tight end position. And I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see how Georgia bounces back from that ass whooping they took a couple weeks ago. That was the first time Georgia had been punched in the mouth all year.
Facts.
And they a team full of dogs. Without a doubt, you can't question that. So I'm excited to see how they bounce back. And I expect them to answer the call. But at the same time, those two DNs from Michigan can totally wreck a game. So the same way Michigan better know where that tight end is at, they better know where those two defensive ends is at, because if not, Stetson Bennett or Barrett or whoever they put in there is going to have a long day.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson and Ajabo, man, those two guys have been phenomenal. Aiden Hutchinson was a Heisman finalist
runner-up
this year in 2021. So he plays a brand of football, man. And he went on a podcast recently, and I believe it was, who was? I can't remember who asked him. But when he was talking shit to an offensive lineman, then he was basically telling him, I'm about to bring it, let's go. And knocked him on his butt. So he plays a different brand of football. And when you look at this Michigan football team defensively, they might be without one of their most important DBs. Excuse me, Daxton Hill. So he hasn't made the trip yet. It's not really out. What's the reason why? So that's one of the things I'm gonna be looking forward to tomorrow and seeing is he with the team, and if he is with the team, what is his game shape gonna be like? Because he hasn't been with the team up until this point practicing, and their secondary, which is led by DJ Turner. Then you have Vincent Gray, and then you have Daxton Hill. With Daxton Hill being that third guy playing the slot, possibly with the opportunity to guard a athletic tight end like Bowers. If he's not able to go, that's going to be a huge miss for the Michigan defense. And Georgia, I think Georgia has to be able to run the football.
Absolutely.
Georgia has to be able to run the football because I think Michigan, if they're smart, I'll come out and just say, you know what? I'm going to stack the box and stop the run. And I'm going to force Stetson Bennett to beat me with his arm. Now, granted, Stetson Bennett this year, and I got to say this, he's been phenomenal this year now. He's second in college football with yards per attempt, 10.1. He's fourth in QBR. But when you run into like a powerhouse like Alabama, who put up points, and then now you got to come from behind and try to win, it didn't work out. Now, if Kate McNamara and that run game and that pass game gets going and they're balanced, they go to scoring points. Can Stetson Bennett be that guy? Can he be that guy? That's going to be the question. And that's one of the things that we're going to have to look out throughout. On the back end from Georgia, they coming off probably their worst performance of the year, right? Yes. Giving up all those yards to those receivers and Bryce Young in the SEC championship game. I want to see how they're going to bounce back because a lot of people sleep on these Michigan wide receivers. They got to understand, Michigan is a run team first. They have about 4 to 5, maybe 6 guys where they spread the ball out too. So, yes, you're not going to have a guy who's going to have 1,000 yards. Their number one guy, Ronnie Bell, got hurt early on in the year. So I thought they did a great job figuring out how to do that. So Michigan, listen, when I look at Michigan, they're 2 quarterback deep with Kate McNamara and J.J. McCarthy. They got 3 running backs and Corum, Haskins, and Edwards. They got 4 to 5 wide receivers. They're 2-3 tight end deep. So you see the offensive line. They're deep at every position offensively, and they can present problems. But I'm looking forward to seeing mano a mano. I want to know who the big bad wolf when it comes to this offense of Michigan and this defense of Georgia. All for every game except the SEC championship, the defense for Georgia has been on point, right? They picked a bad game to have their worst game against Alabama, but they could come back in this game and redeem themselves.
And I think the dopest part about this specific game is Michigan's strength on offense is Georgia's strength on defense.
Yep.
And vice versa.
Yep.
I think this is a better matchup for Georgia than Alabama.
It is.
Because Alabama obviously could run the ball, but their passing attack, it would have been like if Ohio State made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But man, this is gonna be a physical game. Like if you like big boy football, this is big on big. It ain't gonna be no fair dodging. Everybody knows who's who and what who's bringing to the table. It's no surprises or secrets in this game. So it'll be.
Guess what? Guess what though, Coty?
Go ahead.
Listen, the first matchup we talked about, Alabama, Cincinnati. Guess where it's gonna be played at? Inside a dome, right? Weather's not gonna be a factor. I'm down here in Miami right now. Oh, real weather nice down here, Coty. It is hot. I said, man, let me go out there and get a tan. I said, no, I'm dark enough. I don't need no tan.
We're gonna see where their conditioning level at. Because like you said, Miami in December is different than Athens, and it's damn sure different than Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yep.
So we'll see who's in shape. But man, it is going to be some pads thumping tomorrow night.